Hello and welcome to Culture Shark's Metroid Crusade. I'm Caleb,
And I'm Junko.
and today we are going to be discussing Metroid Zero Mission, which is a remake slash expansion of the original Metroid game that was released in 2004. Am I correct on that?
Yeah. Actually, it came out a couple months before Echoes. It came out I think in February of 2004.
February 9th, 2004. And so this is, I believe this is on the same engine as Fusion. Am I correct on that as well?
Yes, and fun fact, this engine was used for another game. This is actually the game that it was made for. Do you know what that was?
Aria?
No, Wario Land 4.
Wario Land 4.
You could actually see the assets of Wario Land 4 on Metroid Fusion.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Um, we're going to go ahead and get into this. This is actually a follow up to our previous episode where we discussed the Metroid manga from Magazine Z, I think is what it was called. Um, and so there was sort of a pseudo adaptation uh, of this game towards the end there. But the majority of that was, Samus's origin and Samus's, rise to being a space hunter. If you ask Nintendo what she's called.
Well, certain parts of Nintendo.
Yeah,
Because even in that manga, she's just a bounty hunter.
yeah. Um, but yeah, so we're getting into Zero Mission, and it kind of starts off the exact same way, and then it almost differ. It starts to differ almost immediately. You know.
Well, once you get to the first Chozo statue, you realize, oh, this game's gonna be a bit different. It's gonna be a bit more than just a standard remake.
Yeah. It also is uh, quite a bit more linear. Um,
I would say it's more linear at the start. Like one of the things I do really like about this game, because to put a little bit of background, I actually played through this game before while Caleb's playing through this game for the first time.
it's not that I haven't played this game before. This is the first time that I've played all the way through it.
Yeah.
Um, I think
When do you usually stop? By the way.
it's not where I usually stop. It's I think the last time I played, the first time I played, I think I stopped at the Zero Suit section. Last time, I don't exactly remember. It has nothing to do with like it being difficult or like the quality of it. It really just comes down to things happen.
Well, anyway, regardless, this is my second playthrough of this game. First time was actually when I did my original Crusade. Uh, and yes, you are correct that in your first time playing through it, it does start off very linear. There's checkpoints all over the place, and or not checkpoints, markers on the map all over the place, and very much tries to hold your hand.
I would say this is a This is probably the most freeform of the 2D Metroids that I've played, because it really is what you make of it. I think this entire game is linear if you let it,
Yes.
and I let it.
Well, it was like, again, like, even though it's technically not your first time through, it's kind of your first time through. I actually did do a few things differently, uh, because I'm quite good at bomb jumping.
Bomb jumping is kind of easy in this game, though.
Yeah, but I basically got the Varia suit as soon as I could get it before I fought Kraid, or before I even went to Kraid.
Mm-hmm.
So had a pretty easy time there. But even though this is a remake of the original Metroid, there are still added features and new bosses to still keep it fresh. Like, they bring back the charge beam almost immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A lot of new mini bosses.
I believe
All of them are.
this is called the Charge Beam Beast. The worm's called the Charge Beam Beast, I think.
It's, yeah. I think they really stopped getting creative after Fusion in terms of boss names, huh?
Uh, I Metroid Prime, like I know
I'm talking
Echoes.
about like 2Ds.
Yeah, um, but like
Like in the Mercury Steam games, it's like there's the Diggernaut and Scorpio or whatever, or Corpio. Not
well,
exactly the most imaginative names,
you've
but
got
then
the
again,
boost
Crocomire isn't exactly an imaginative name.
Crocomire.
Uh,
Uh, you've
by the way,
got
he's supposed to be in this game.
yes. Uh, then you get like the bomb guardian, the boost guardian, and
Yeah, there's no Yakuza in this game. Uh,
um,
but yeah, this game also adds some new features from like the from like newer games in the series, such as the Lightspeed Dash, or no,
that's Sonic. Speed booster.
Speed Booster.
Lightspeed Dash is Sonic.
Ugh. Well, it's very similar. You know, it got me some slack. They also add the Power Grip. Now, the thing
that is not.
about that is not what.
That is not new. The power grip.
Well, the Power Grip was to explain a lore inconsistency with Zero Mission. Now, in Fusion, Samus gains the ability to grab on ledges due to the Fusion suit being a lot lighter and more agile than her bulkier Varia suit. So, in order to explain that in this game, they introduced the Power Grip. So you can still have that Fusion-esque controls while making lore sense.
Yeah. Now,
And,
go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, and some other quality of life features that they added were beam stacking, so you didn't have to like switch from ice beam to wave beam and vice versa. It has much tighter controls of Fusion, and to be honest, I think this game has the best feeling Samus. Like, I think the only thing that comes close is Dread.
Well, first of all, yes, it is Dread. Second of all, I think that both Super and Fusion feel better than this game.
Nah.
Uh,
I feel
well, no. Here's the thing. You weren't very good at wall jumping though, in Super, like single wall jumping.
I got good at it in my latest playthrough. So I understand wall jumping, like wall climbing, and you can wall climb in this game, unlike Fusion. Though it is tighter and you don't really get as many advantages for wall climbing in this game in comparison to Super.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, I don't think there's a whole lot of advantages to sequence breaking in Fusion or this game.
No,
Uh,
there's definitely advantages to sequence breaking in this game.
well, I know that you,
You can get
uh,
early super missiles, like super early, like really early.
yeah. Let's talk about. I think the big thing, and I right now I just want to stick to the first portion of the game.
Hmm.
Let's talk about bosses. Specifically, we'll shy away from Kraid and
Ridley.
Ridley. Let's talk about like the completely new bosses that were added.
Okay,
Um,
so Centipede, charge. It's a charge beam beast, really? No. Uh, but yeah.
let's see. Actually, I'm looking it up right now. It does look like that the giant centipede has a name, Diorum.
Okay, that's a cool name.
So we have Diorum,
Very
which,
much just it's a missile tutorial.
well, not just that. I think it's very interesting because it can actually get away from you.
Yeah,
Uh,
and then once you get the get like another like pack of missiles, I think. Actually, no. When you get the morph ball bombs, then you get to do the second phase.
no, no, no. So you can beat it that one phase.
Oh, I know.
You can,
I'm
um,
I'm saying that if you don't beat it in the first phase, you have to finish it off when you get the morph ball bombs.
well, no, it can still get away from you. Like even in
Really?
that second phase, it can still get away from you.
Oh, so you just have a stalker the whole game,
Yeah.
but it's just like a giant centipede.
Um, but yeah, I don't think this. I don't think this boss is too difficult. I didn't. I think you had to do the second phase. I didn't have to do the second. I got it in the first. I got the first try.
Yeah.
But the next one is Mua, which is
Mwah.
which is the worm that uh,
That's in like the
the
lava.
yeah, the one that you have to like go back and forth on and uh,
That
shoot at its pimples.
yeah, that one's just more of a lot of the early mini bosses are just like glorified tutorials. Uh, the first one was a missile tutorial. The this boss moi is a platforming tutorial. Basically, hey, you need to move around during a boss. You can't just stand around and pump missiles at it. Ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
Uh,
which I mean, in a way, it is still pumping missiles at it because
well,
like
yeah, but it's basically just telling you, hey, you have to do more than that. You gotta move around and pump missiles.
yeah. Um, well, actually, before we continue with bosses, one other thing that I want to mention is this is this the first 2D Metro, first or maybe even only 2D Metroid um, with cutscenes?
Uh, well, until Dread. Well, Dread and Samus Returns.
Yeah, so Samus Returns is also going to be a new one for me, so I don't know if Samus Returns had it.
Oh, Samus Returns has a lot of a lot of Prime style cutscenes.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, I'm trying to think. It's like, oh, well, here's the thing. The ending to Super Metroid is a glorified cutscene. Like Mother Brain's fight is a cutscene, basically. What else?
Um, the next boss. Um,
Well, the cutscenes.
oh yeah, the cutscenes.
I do feel like the cutscenes are they are better if you actually read the manga. Just like because the first non like opening cutscene with Mother Brain, just like
it
finding out Samus is on Zebes and just like seething.
yeah.
It's a lot more. It's a lot more like it's a lot funnier when you know that that her whole Mother Brain's whole motivation is just sheer jealousy,
Yeah.
and also the build up to Ridley coming in because it's a bit of a slow burn. Like multiple cutscenes of the space pirate mothership approaching, landing, and then Ridley coming out.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, let's get back to not Spore Spawn.
Well, before not Spore Spawn, we have the original Kirugiru, which is the larva um, that you kind of have to use your missiles on uh, to push it back, and then
Right,
you have to bomb
yeah.
it.
I don't even consider that a boss. It's just kind
It took me long enough that it was a boss. Like it wasn't hard. It just took me a second to figure out how to damage it.
of
I don't know. I mean, like I said, it wasn't hard, but I found it harder than this ensnared Kiriguru, which is what you're talking about.
not Spore Spawn.
Not Spore Spawn, yes.
It has the exact same, like very similar mechanics to Spore Spawn, where it's just
Yes.
like a whole lot of waiting.
Because, like, and the thing is you're not waiting for the, because usually it's the Spore Spawn that you're waiting for. In this one, you're just waiting for the little guy
The glider.
to go from side to side so you can freeze it, jump on top of it, and then start getting at it. Um, then there is the uh, this will be the last one that we talk about before we get to
For real Z bosses.
yeah, well, not just the for realsy bosses, but also like I said, I want to stick to the first part because there are two more new bosses, but we'll talk about those later.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Imago, which is the wasp.
That is just a straight up
Yeah,
missile tank.
it's like this. You beat Ridley, um, and then it turns out that Ridley's easier.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so we have. I guess I never noticed it. But I guess looking at these back to back, you've got the larva Kiriguru, and then
Mm-hmm.
you've got the ensnared Kiriguru, which is like its cocoon, and then you've got the wasp. So
It's
it's
kind of
like
funny because it came out at the same time as Metroid Prime 2, and Metroid Prime 2 had a boss with a very similar gimmick.
we had to fight it three times based on its evolutions.
Basically, yeah, you have to fight a larva. Like, we're fighting Pokemon, okay? We're fighting Pokemon. You're fighting Butterfree.
It has been a long, long time since Echoes, so I don't exactly remember what boss that is. Uh, but yeah, so those are our new bosses for right now.
Yeah, for Act 1.
Um, what what else before we get into Kraid and Ridley. Anything else you want to talk about?
There's also the unknown items that you get.
Yes, the unknown items.
The mandatory unknown items, because basically we wanted to put these items in the game, but knew they would be too overpowered for OG Metroid.
Yeah.
So what they did was, so Samus's suit in this game is actually a piece of crap. It's actually just kind of a piece of junk that isn't compatible with these other powers. And this is actually something I really like about this game, is it caring about like the lore, because in the original Metroid, the Varia suit didn't have the rounded shoulders. It was just a palette swap. And in Zero Mission, the Varia suit is just a palette swap. And just to say, and just one quick thing, I freaking love this design of the power suit. Caleb, could you show a picture of the power suit from Zero Mission?
Give me a second. I've actually got something that we're looking for right here.
Because, I just love the Zero Mission art style. Like, you see it in the cutscenes and also in promotional material, but it just, like, the harsh shadows, they just pop.
The space jump is an unknown item.
Yeah, space jump, gravity suit,
Plasma
and
beam.
plasma beam are all unknown items. Though, to be honest, the only new power that you really notice is the space jump, because there's barely any underwater sections in the game, and the plasma beam is very much plasma beam's the one you notice the least when you get it. It's not like the wave beam, which wave beam is awesome in this game too. I don't know what was going on in Prime, where the wave beam was bad.
Because they didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah, that's why there was no wave beam-esque beam in Echoes. They just got rid of it entirely. But yeah, love the power suit design in this.
All right. Can I? There is one thing that I want to talk about, and I think that we have a similar sentiment. There comes a point where the Brinstar theme gets annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Norfair.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that part is, but that's what you said. Like it was more like Magmore Caverns at the first time you were doing that.
No,
but
no, it's. I will agree. The Brinstar theme in this game is super repetitive. Oh yeah, and just like that, Kraid's dead.
Yep, Kraid is.
So here's a bit of a problem with this game, at least with the bosses, is that they're very hit or miss in terms of difficulty. Either piss easy like Kraid or Ridley, or pretty hard.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's pretty hard. I think you can attest to this game.
Yes, there's one in particular for me that which I don't. I guess I don't know
No,
how it happened.
that boss is hard for me too.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I don't know
um.
why. It just does a lot of damage.
Yeah. Um.
But yeah, bit of a disappointment with all the buildup of Ridley is that he's just kind of a pushover. He's the easiest Ridley fight in the series, like
Yeah.
bar none, the easiest Ridley fight.
Let's
You don't
see.
even have to move. You just stand there, pump missiles for like 10 seconds, and he's dead. You don't even have to try. I didn't even like get half health against Ridley, and I had a lot of tanks.
Yeah, and I only I only had 6 whenever I played.
Yep. Oh yeah, super missiles. I actually do have a complaint about super missiles.
Okay.
Why didn't they just do the missile system from Fusion, where super missiles just stack?
Mm, I think they wanted to
Trying
harken.
to trying to make it more like super,
Yes.
but it ruins the whole point of it. It makes the control scheme more cluttered.
Yeah.
The game does not have enough buttons for it.
Yeah. By the way,
And
that's
you can tell they made a mistake because in Dread they promptly got rid of that.
which is funny because the control scheme is not a problem in that game.
I'm not sure. Although I'm pretty sure they brought back super missiles in Samus Returns, and it was just as cluttered.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you know what that you have to do in Samus Returns in order to switch to super missiles?
you have to go back and get them, like
No,
in
no, 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 no. That's No, no, it's not that bad.
touchscreen.
You have to use the touchscreen. Well, not just the touchscreen. You have to hold the missile button and then use the touchscreen.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
So you have to let go of the DS.
Basically you treat the touchscreen as another button.
Yeah,
Samus Returns is a game that needed more buttons, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
yeah. Would you say that Samus Returns is a sequel to this?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely is a sequel to this.
Okay. And you know what I mean when I say that. I'm like no duh, it's a sequel, but like I mean it's in the same vein.
Yes,
Okay.
though a certain fan game, which we will not talk about because we're not talking about fan games right now.
Yeah, and we're
Definitely is more inspired by Zero Mission.
yeah, and we're also not going to be going over that in this crusade.
Yeah, I mean that would be a fun like bonus thing if we have extra time, but like
We are a month.
maybe we could do both that game and Planets.
We are a month away from the Switch 2 launch.
We don't even know when Prime 4 is coming out.
I'm thinking July.
It could be November.
You think November?
Gotta have a game for the Christmas season.
Um, when does Bonanza come out?
July.
Oh, maybe not July then. But they've got Age of Imprisonment.
We'll look at the lineup and see which game which date would it probably most likely be on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that we got so off track just tells you how easy Ridley was.
Yes, yes. It not
By
even
the time we were halfway through this tangent, Ridley is already dead.
wasn't even halfway, dog.
Yeah. Ridley is rotting in his lair by the time we're talking about it. Do you know who wasn't a pushover in this game, though? The
Uh,
Metroids.
yeah, the Metroids.
The Metroids were actually really, really tough at this game.
And here's you know what I love about like game design and whatnot. The fact that they come out of the background is
Oh yeah,
actually scary.
yeah. It actually did jump me a few times. Uh, but like I'm again, I'm glad that they made the Metroids as hard as they were in the original Nintendo game,
Yeah,
because in the original Nintendo game, the Metroids were pretty tough just because trolls. So in order to make it a bit tougher, they had to just make them super aggressive. Uh, and then after that is Mother Brain, and unlike in Super, Mother Brain is not a pushover. Ironically enough, this is the
yeah,
boss that gave you a tough time, right?
yes,
Now this Mother Brain, you have to attack its weak point, which is her eyeball, but she only opens it when she does an attack. So in this version, you do have to be careful with your platforming. And if you fall straight into the lava, taking a chunk out of your health. And I'm gonna be honest, it's killed me quite a few times. How many times
yeah.
did you die?
I don't remember honestly.
it like I'm glad that they decided to not make Mother Brain a pushover this time,
Hmm.
because now that just makes the countdown that much more stressful. I actually like messed up on the countdown a few times and only had like a couple seconds to spare.
Really?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
because Mother Brain was so hard that I kind of took a lot of my energy.
That's really funny because like that's I struggled with the I struggled with the
Next countdown.
no, I struggled with the Super Metroid countdown because I couldn't remember where the animals were.
Oh yeah, and you have to do a freaking speed booster thing to
Yeah.
actually escape.
Yep.
That's bullcrap. But hey, we're done with. But hey, that's the end of Metroid Zero Mission. It's a great game, isn't it, Caleb?
Yes, yes. So thank you so much for joining us. Just
Next
joking.
time.
Just joking. We still have the actual Zero mission to talk about. Well, I guess it's not the actual Zero mission. The whole thing is the Zero mission, but
The where the Zero and Zero Mission really refers to is the Zero Suit section, aka Prototype Dread.
yeah. Um, we get closer and closer to Dread every time.
Yeah,
Because SAX is kind of Dread as well.
SAX is kind of like the idea of how you want how the Emmy should be, and Zero Mission, the Zero Suit sections are kind of like the actual Emmy rooms. Combine those together, and you got the Emmy. Now, Zero like the Zero Suit is quite interesting in the fact that though she has like a lot of, still has a little bit of her mobility, she is not even a glass cannon. She's just glass.
Yeah.
Glass, like clay. Cheap clay. Clay you buy at the dollar store. All she's equipped with is an emergency pistol.
Yeah,
That
her stun gun.
she has a stun gun, and that's it. And one really funny thing about this game is that Zero Suit Samus has a stealth theme that is promptly ignored as soon as you get caught once, aka as soon as you leave the first room. As soon as you leave the save room, the stealth theme's gone. Blink and you miss it. It's right here, and the stealth theme's gone. Then it gives you the Super Metroid Space Pirates theme throughout the entire section.
Yeah.
Now, I actually had a pretty easy time with this because I was searching for like all the tanks beforehand. I wasn't even searching. I just came across them because I'm a nosy. I'm a very nosy player when it comes to playing Metroid.
Hmm.
But you came in with how many tanks?
6.
So how is the Zero Suit section for you?
It's actually not bad because like the whole point is to like not be seen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's either you sneak around or you die.
Well, here's the thing. I had enough tanks where even if I got caught a few times, I could just face tank a good bit of it. Because the shots from the space pirates, like they take like 2 tanks worth of health,
Yeah.
and I could afford that. You couldn't, but
Yeah, 3 shots I'm dead.
yeah. Uh, but yeah, the one thing I do appreciate about this section is that it does not overstay its welcome. Well, there's a lot of save
Yeah.
points. It's very forgiving in terms of like health and saves. So you're not going to be having to replay big sections of it.
Yeah, and it's also like it if you let it this I mean this can go on forever if you let it, but like you
That's
can
like every game though.
you can really, go about this section.
I've actually seen a video of someone. I think it's like a tool assisted thing where it was the stealth section without getting caught. Really interesting
Okay.
because the stealth theme was on the entire time. Like even when they went to when she actually went to the temple, the theme was on the entire time. It's like they didn't even expect you to get this far. For
Which
which, at the end of the temple section, she goes upon this. Samus goes to this mural of this Chozo with a very familiar armor, almost like a prophecy. And then she has to do a trial.
yeah,
And to be
against
quite
the
honest,
sh-
this trial killed me a few times.
really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't die during this. It did take me a second to figure out how to do it though.
Well, here's the thing: the first 3 hits were fine. Just wait until the little thing comes in, and then boom. The problem with the last one is how stingy the timing is for that. So I just kept shooting myself until it actually switched.
Yeah, and then there's the lightning that comes down and
Yeah, yeah.
um which yeah, the Chozo warrior, I this might be like that. This might be my favorite of the new bosses.
Really?
Yeah. It was just unique enough,
Yeah. Well, I will say my favorite. I'll tell you my favorite boss is coming soon enough. But by the way, this is something I really liked about the original about this game is that the item acquire theme uses the original Metroid's item acquire theme, but then once you get the legendary Chozo armor, which has the rounded shoulders, it brings in the proper Metroid item acquired theme, and it's so good. You get the proper look, and you earned it. Also, now you are officially Metroid.
Ultimate Warrior, yeah.
You are officially Metroid because that's what the mural is. That mural is the Metroid. And also, you just go to town on these space pirates. It feels so good to do it. And the funny thing is you don't get any health from killing the space pirates in this. So
Yeah.
in theory, this should be like still really hard, but you're just so overpowered in this that it's just a cakewalk. So much so that the space pirates themselves are afraid of you now.
Yeah, I mean, like, and even then, if there's a health problem, you just find a save point.
Yeah. And
Um, which
and
this
and then you
is
go what? Continue?
well, and then this is where you can make a decision.
Oh well,
Uh,
no. You get the power bombs from the space pirate mother base. Then you
right.
make the decision because this the space pirate mothership, along with Chozodia, is actually just the space pirate mothership. The space pirate mothership is actually Meridia. So you want to be canon, or do you want to finish the game quicker? Because as soon as you get the power bombs, there's a very familiar tubing that if you power bomb it, it breaks, freeing you to the rest of the game again. Then you make a decision: do you want to 100% this game, or do you want to beat it quicker? And this is where me and Caleb differed. Caleb just wanted to beat the game, but
Yeah.
me, I heard that the final boss in this game gets 3 times as hard, like actually hardest boss in the game, if you 100% it. And that boss is Mecha Ridley. So I proceeded to complete the game all the way through. And to be honest, in comparison to other like the earlier games, 100%ing this game is actually pretty fun because there's a lot of puzzles uh, in order to get like missile upgrades and like other energy tanks. So it was not a drag at all. I was having a blast,
Yeah, I
especially with the space jump and screw attack. It was like fun cleanup.
yeah, with me it was definitely like I really didn't care for cleanup. I think the only game that I may 100% g- going forward it'll probably be Dread.
To be honest, I'd recommend you 100%ing Samus Returns.
That
Samus Returns.
hurts.
I'm pretty sure Samus Returns has a similar thing where getting max items makes the boss harder, and also you get other fun goodies. There's just trust me on this. There's some fun goodies that were that got me popping off when I played it through for the first time. Also, one fun thing is about this game if you do play through if you do go back, you can actually go back to Destroy Turian, and you can find all the upgrades that you get from Destroy Turian in uh, in Super Metroid.
Yeah, like from Under Mother Brain.
Yeah, there's a there is like fun fan service sections like that, but I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. Oh, not getting ahead of ourselves. We're getting off topic. Let's talk about Mecha Ridley, the final boss of Zero Mission. What'd you
Yes.
think of it?
Um. So for me, like I didn't. We have two different experiences because I got the easy one.
And I did not. And you saw 100% Mecha Ridley.
Yes, I did. I did
That
see you fight it.
that thing was hard.
I will say he's not menacing.
Yeah. Well, he's not finished.
Yeah.
Uh, it's implied that parts of Mecha Ridley got put into Meta Ridley because if you notice about this Mecha Ridley, he doesn't have legs or wings. So where would the wings go? Well, where did the wings come from? Or what happened to the wings?
I didn't notice that he didn't have legs or wings.
Yeah, he's not finished. Basically,
That
the lore about
that's
Mecha
not why.
Ridley. Basically, the lore behind Mecha Ridley is Ridley wanted to make the most terrifying weapon in the universe and made it in his own image. So that way, when people think of the most dangerous weapon, they think of him. So
Yeah,
yes, Ridley is canonically a narcissist.
I don't know. I still like. So the thing is, it's just got like the sounds of like a robot like
Yeah,
that. Like that's not threatening at all.
it's not like here. Like I can, it's threatening to me, but that's because my Mecha Ridley was a lot tougher, so it's a bit more intimidating. Uh, but yeah, 100% Mecha Ridley. Those swipes take like 2 tanks worth of health,
Yeah.
and every other attack takes like 1 tank worth of health. You have to be like super careful against this guy, and he also takes like 30 super missiles. Actually, not even 30. Like he takes all your super missiles and a couple more missiles for good measure. It's it is probably the hardest fight in the game, and actually one of the harder Metroid fights in general. Ironically enough, and I'm pretty sure Samus Returns also has a similar thing. And again, I recommend you doing that. But we'll get to that later. Uh, but yeah, you beat Mecha Ridley, and then the
He he
countdown will
he
start.
he pulls a predator on you.
Well, he pulls a Metroid on you because it's it's starting to become like it's becoming a bit of a trope. Although I don't think it becomes overused. The escape sequence doesn't become overused until Hunters. Then it's just like, okay, stop with the freaking countdowns. You don't need to put a freaking countdown for everything. Stop it.
But no, whenever I
If
say he pulls
you
a
think
predator
Rid,
on you,
well, yeah, that's also something Ridley would probably implement. Is like, if you beat it, I don't want anyone to know you beat it. Uh, to be honest, this escape sequence is kind of lackluster in terms of like difficulty.
yeah, I mean, at this point you're so overpowered. Like even with 6 energy tanks.
Well, also, you've combed this map. Like, if you did 100%, you've combed this map like the back of your head. But even then, you've been through this part a good number of times. So it's not even like a difficult escape sequence. The only thing of note in this escape sequence is Weevil's cameo.
So is that confirmed
No,
or
this is a fan theory because So, if for people who don't know, in Metroid Prime Hunters, there's this space pirate that's playable named Weevil. And his backstory is that he was once just a normal space pirate until he got crippled by Samus during her Zero mission.
So is the Zero mission, is that confirmed?
Like
That that
Weevil
that
was
that that that,
here.
we that Weevil was here during Zero mission?
Yeah,
Okay. By the
and
way, real quick, the black
and he was also
ones.
bisected. He has like a turret on his legs. So here comes Weevil. Here comes our boy. There he is. Hi, Weevil. How you doing? Bye, Weevil.
Um,
That is I would say a semi-popular theory is that specific space pirate was Weevil.
so one thing I want to point out, and this might be a little bit embarrassing for me to admit to, the black space pirates at the end. Those gave me more trouble than any of the bosses in the game.
No, that's not embarrassing. Those things are actually pretty tough.
Okay.
I to be honest, I just ignored them until I had to fight them. Uh, so that's Zero Mission, but here's the thing about Zero Mission that makes it different from other Metroid games. Zero Mission is the game that's meant to be replayed over and over again. Like, you're not supposed to replay Fusion over and over again. You are supposed to have a second playthrough of Super, but Zero Mission, that is the game you want to replay over and over again. Like, as soon as you beat it, you get the hard mode. So it's basically just begging you to play it through again. And as someone who had a second playthrough, like who did a second playthrough for this Crusade, I had an absolute blast playing this game. And dare I say it, I think it's better than Fusion and up there with Super.
You're insane.
No.
Yeah, I liked this a lot. I don't think it's anywhere near Fusion or Super. But I do, but like that's like this is a phenomenal for me. Zero Mission is like the best steakhouse burger you've ever had, while uh and it's on the menu at this steakhouse, right? But also at this steakhouse you have lobster tail and steak, which is, in my opinion, super infusion.
Which is
So,
Lobsterdale?
which is the lobster tail? I'd say fusion is the lobster tail.
Okay, because I was about to say like because it's different, but you
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, because it's different. Um, it's different. It's interesting. And then super is your steak because it's a classic.
And then Dread's the surf and turf.
Yeah, dread is the duck fat fries and and the lava cake. Dread is a full meal.
But I this is a game in my opinion that gets better as you like gets better with age. Like the more you play through it over and over again, the more you like it. And I'm not saying like oh you have to replay it over and over again. I meant like if you're ever in the mood for a Metroid game, it's like oh I'll play Zero Mission again. Like you discover new things, you discover new routes, and also it's also one of the games that's very like very rewarding to speed run because let's be real, speedrunning Super that can be a bit of an investment. Fusion, It's pretty linear, so it's definitely an investment. But Zero Mission, that one you can beat in like 30 minutes, and it feels freaking great to do. And you can't really get that in other like Metroid games. Not even like the like 1 and 2, because they don't have like the skill gap that Zero Mission has. But I don't know. What's your opinion?
On the speed running,
No, just Zero Mission in general.
I like I said, I think it is the best steak burger. This the best steakhouse burger you'll ever have. Um, I and it's on the same menu. I just think there's some better things on the menu. But it is, but that does not take away from how good this game is.
Uh,
Uh,
to a lot of people, this is their favorite Metroid game.
and I can understand that. Like that's the thing is, other than the first two, I think from Super onwards, with everything we've played, I can see why it's someone's favorite.
Yeah. Uh, it's actually kind of funny because in 2004, there's two Metroid games that came out. One was critically like lauded as like probably the best Metroid game, or like up there with Super. And then the next one kind of fell under the radar. But there are people who absolutely swear by that game. And that game is Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
Yep. So be sure to join us next time. We'll be looking at Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. I'm very excited about it. I am a big fan of this game, at least as far as I can
Hey, I'm a
remember.
big fan of Destiny 2.
Um, but this will be my first time playing it with the new play controls, so hopefully
And
that
this will
makes
be
it even
my
better.
first time playing through it with the GameCube controls. So I guess we'll see you next time.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the Metroid Crusade. I'm Caleb.
I'm Junko.
We'll catch you later.